Welcome back to Obscure Fighter, the show that looks at the obscure and forgotten side of fighting games. And guys, let me ask you something. Are your muscles sparking? Is there a red rain over Berlin, or perhaps a tower bridge falling down? Maybe even a hurricane mixer in the area? If any of this is happening, it sounds like you're ready for a fight. A muscle fight, because on today's episode, I'm looking at possibly one of the best fan games ever made, bar none. Today, we're looking at Kinnikuman, Muscle Fight. Now before we get into the game itself, let's quickly talk about the series it's based off of. That series being, well, Kinnikuman. First published in 1979, debuting in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine and created by the duo Yadete Mago, Kinnikuman is a superhero-themed wrestling manga about the titular character Kinnikuman and his adventures in trials and friendships in superheroism and wrestling. It's a classic series that truly lives up to the praise it garners. If you love old manga and wrestling, Japanese wrestling especially, you should totally check it out sometime. Heck, the manga is still popular to this day with a 2011 revival that's still going as of this video. Now, if you're looking at this and you're thinking, why does this look vaguely familiar? Well, that's because Kinnikuman actually made it to Western shores twice, once in the 80s and again in the early 2000s. In the mid-80s, Mattel released Muscle, millions of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere. However, the Muscle line was actually the Americanized version of Kinkeshi, which were collectible eraser figures based off of characters from Kinnikuman. And as for the 2000s, if you're a kid like me, you probably watched the Fox Box, and if you remember the Fox Box, then you probably remember watching the best 4Kids dub ever made, Ultimate Muscle, the Kinnikuman Legacy, aka Kinnikuman Nisei, the sequel series to Kinnikuman that focuses on the next generation of superheroes, or Chojin as they're called, featuring the son of Kinnikuman, Kinnikuman Taro, or as we know him in the West, Kid Muscle. What's weird about Nisei is that it never actually got as popular as the original series in Japan, but exploded everywhere else. Seriously, Toei was going to pull the plug on the Nisei anime, but 4Kids kept paying Toei to keep it going. They actually did this for a few of their shows, not kidding, look it up. But enough about that, it's time for that muscle fight, so let's get it on!
Get it on?
First up is the story! There is none. Muscle Fight is a straight up arcade fire through and through. No stories, no cutscenes, you just pick a guy and you're off. Though some characters do have endings, but they're typically lifted from the manga or anime, and few even have what if scenario endings, which are pretty cool I guess. Now on to the gameplay, and like I said before, Muscle Fight is super arcade-like, and boy does it play like it. Controls are super simple. You've got a 3-button setup of light, medium, and heavy attack buttons, and specials and supers are done with the usual quarter circle motions and the like. There is a 4th button used by some characters, but the number of them is so little, it's nothing to worry about. You can also build up a lot of meter for supers, and if you're really good, you can really deal out the damage. And it just looks super cool when you chain multiple supers together. Now, I do have one mini gripe regarding grabs in this game. As one would expect for a fighter based around wrestling characters, there's a lot of grab-based moves and they can't all be done willy-nilly. For example, one of Terry Man's grabs is his signature Texas Clover hold, and when I tried to do it for the first time, it seemed like the move was busted. I was right in front of my opponent too, but it wouldn't work. Turns out I had to trip them up first. After that, it was all smooth sailing. Something else I should also know is the game speed. It's surprisingly slow and somewhat jerky feeling. I don't know really how to describe it, but it does work well for the game. For the most part, the balancing is actually pretty fair. No character felt like they overpowered everyone, well, save for the bosses, and moves felt like they did the right amount of damage. But the AI, ooh boy. The AI ranges from doable to SNK Final Boss Syndrome levels of unfair. For characters like Neptuneman, Akuma Shogun, or Super Phoenix, I expected a tough fight. But I shouldn't be having this much trouble with Canadian Man! It's Canadian Man, for crying out loud! And what's even worse is that when you lose, that's it. Game over. No continues. Back to the start. Honestly, if it wasn't for Muscle Gear, a third-party program that lets you tinker with various settings like the AI, difficulty, and enabling continues, I was going to say fuck it and scrap this review because of this shit. I mean, good God. Did 2D Battles seriously look at this and not think for a second that maybe the AI needs to be toned down just a little bit? Moving on. The graphics are pretty good too, albeit it's a bit of a mixed bag among the characters. All the characters have tons of animations and different poses, and considering the amount of different techniques characters have, there's no doubt a lot of work and effort went into each character. But I just can't help but notice a divide in character sprites. Some just look better than others. For example, Kinnikuman looks softer and doesn't have a ton of detail to him, kinda reminds me how he was drawn early in the manga and anime, but Robin Mask has much more detail with more defined muscles and armor, looking like a Street Fighter Alpha era character. Still, the graphics look good and do the characters justice. And as for the stage backgrounds, they're all CG replications of various arenas from the manga. You got the Chojin Olympics, Karakuen Stadium, Osaka Castle, and Grand Canyon, just to name a few. And as for the game's soundtrack, it's all MIDI renditions of the anime's OST. It's okay for early 2000s MIDI, and it does add a weird charm for me, but still, it could sound a bit better. And as for the sound effects, all the hit sounds were obviously taken from other fighters, while all the character voices were recorded straight from the anime, and boy do those really show. The sound bites are a little bit crushed, but you can still make out what they're saying. That is assuming you do understand Japanese, of course. Or you are familiar with the characters and their move list. But still, the sound bites and all their low quality glory add on to that little fan-made charm that this game exudes. So, what else is there to talk about? Well, how about the fan service? Because damn, there's a lot of it here. Chances are if you think of it, it's probably here. Kinnikuman referencing Kojin no Hoshi? Got it. A nod to Rikishi-man and Brocken Jr.'s tag team? Present and accounted for. Heck, there's even a reference to Terry Man's DQ from the 21st Children Olympics where he caught a bullet train to save a puppy from being ran over as a super. It's completely useless and causes you to lose the round just like in the manga and anime, but still, it's pretty neat that's there nonetheless. I also love the size of the roster. Almost everyone and their grandma is here. You've got your obvious standbys like Kinnikuman, Terry Man, Robin Mask, so on. Fan favorites like Neptune Man, Big the Budo Sunshine, and even the faded princes from the Throne arc like Zebra, Mariposa, Big Body, Soldier, and Super Phoenix, and even some of their teammates like Mammoth Man, Golem Man, and Hawk Man. There's even bonus characters you can add into the game, ranging from alternate versions of characters, a few Nisei characters like Puri Puri Man or Monsieur Cheeks from Ultimate Muscle, and some original characters. The only downside to this is that you can only have 5 bonus characters installed at a time, and you can't play as the developer characters. According to the Fans of Muscle Fighting Wiki, there were a few characters made and only given out to those who worked on the game or were only available for a short period of time. Some of these characters include Strollheim from JoJo, Space Hunter Cobra, Kinnikuman's son Mantaro, or Kid Muscle as we know him, and most important of all, Momotaro Tsurugi from Otoko Juku! Oh my god, the things I do to get those character files. Just imagine it, the students of Otoko Juku versus the Chojin of Kinnikuman. Bandai, Namco, Bandai, whoever, whatever, make it happen! Now, with all this positive stuff I've said about Muscle Fight, is there anything truly negative to say about it? Well, yeah, there is one thing that proved to be a pain in the ass. It's a bit nitpicking and it's not even 2D Battle's fault, but long story short, if you want to play this and other Fighter Maker Engine games, you're gonna need to emulate an older version of Windows. I suggest XP. The crazy thing is that I had Muscle Fight working on several Windows 7 computers in the past, and even some of my friends told me they had Muscle Fight running on their PC straight away, but no dice for me. If you can't play this on your PC straight away, I tip my hat off to you. You're lucky. I also came to a few crashes here and there, but given how old this game and engine is, it's just something to expect. But anywho, that's Kinnikuman Muscle Fight. Now, should you play this game? Absolutely! As far as fan games go, Muscle Fight is probably the best of its kind. It bleeds quality and it's worthy of the franchise it's based off of. Hell, you don't even need to be a fan of a franchise to enjoy it, it's just that good a game. The game is even still being updated to this day. As of this script writing, the most recent update was this past March, and 2D Battle is still showing their support for this game, and that's just great. And that about does it for the third episode of Obscure Fighter. Thanks for watching. I'm Eric, Prince of the Iron Fist, and I'll see you at the next battle. Take care. And hopefully I won't take a year to get the next episode out. See you then.
I heard you liked swords, so you better watch the next Obscure Fighter, where we'll be slicing up the competition in Battle Arena Toshinden. The first one. Yeah.